Hello everyone, it is me, Geeking. Today we're back with an unboxing. Today's unboxing we got from Transformers Age of the Primes, Deluxe Class, G1 Universe, Skydives, yeah. All I'm missing now is Slingshot. Of course, if you saw my community post, I did order them both. It's just Slingshot arrived a day early. So at the time of recording, Slingshot should arrive today, but that's like time of recording wise, film wise, that would just be like a couple days apart. Potentially, it'll be like a day apart or a couple of days apart because I'm thinking about trying out a new upload schedule. So I don't know if they're going to be affected by the new upload schedule. They're still going to be on the same one I have right now, which is the, Monday, Wednesday unboxings, Friday is gameplay, and Tuesday and Wednesday are for streaming. It might be it might still be on that same schedule. It could be on the new schedule I have planned by the time its unboxing comes out along with Slingshot. Who knows? But yeah, anyway, Skydive is 5 out of 5 for Superion, Slingshot being number 2 out of 5. But it takes 70 steps, go from robot to jet mode. Says Aerobot Skydive down there, made by Hasbro, also ages A+ right there. You have the closed window design. Shows Skydive, what it transforms into, being a jet, obviously. Flip up here, just shows some stuff. Flip back here, it shows a couple of the primes, shows Prima, Vector, Alpha, says Deluxe Class in different languages. Flip over here, it shows Superior since he is part of Combined Team. Says 5 collect to combine. So yeah, once I get Slingshot, the video after that should be hopefully the Superior Combiner team review. Oh yeah, you also notice it's a little bit busted up here because I got this via Amazon and the box is a little bit more busted. Like this part was popped out, so I had to like push it back in. And yeah, I mean, it's fine. It came in like a tail strip box, like a box that was like squared. But then like one part sticks out a little bit so you can access the tail strip to open it up. So it wasn't like that poly bag. So, but I don't know why I got so beat up. And I was honestly expecting like Slingshot. And I was kind of worried. But then when I checked the Amazon app, it said Slingshot's coming tomorrow. So that's fine. Like I'm fine waiting on Slingshot. It's just like, I was just worried that, you know, I paid for both, but they didn't ship out Slingshot. And if they get Slingshot first, I would have waited for Skydive to save Slingshot for us, since I was on both. Flip to the bottom, just some mumbo jumbo, which includes one figure and 3 pieces. There's a barcode and the stamp of approval, which means it is an official product. And then here it is, just reiterating that he's the 5th member of the team to form Superior, and yet again taking 70 steps, go from robot to jet mode. Where are my scissors? There they are. Because let's pop them open. Always be careful with your scissors or anything sharp, especially if you're a youngin'. There we go. Apologies if the unboxing doesn't get caught fully on camera. Wow, that was actually pretty smooth. But yeah, like, see right here, yeah, like, this was like, it was like formed as a triangle and it was like popped out, so I just pushed it back in. Alright, let's tilt down. Check box. Well, not chuck, but put it out of the way. Alright, let's look at our papers. If I can get it out, it's stuck in there. Here's mumbo jumbo paper. Here's the instruction booklet. It does use the same mold for air raid, so it should transform in the same way. It's just a different head sculpt and different deco, I believe. Yeah, because I know the Aerobots for the limbs share the same mold, so it should be the same steps. Yeah, it's basically night and day with air raid, so luckily I know how to do that, so I can do this, no problem. Of course, I'm going to still look at the instructions, because it has been a bit since I've done air raid. And it is showing he's the 5th member. I'm trying to remember who goes where, but I believe Slingshot, Air Raid, Fireflight. I mean, this is always skydiving. Like, obviously, this is skydive because it's telling you it's the 5th piece, and the chest is obviously Silver Bolt / Superion, but for the other limbs. I know the other one, I know the other leg is obviously Air Raid, but I believe this arm is Slingshot and this is Firefight. If it's the other way around, I'll put up in text if I was wrong. I slide the box back a bit. And we got the figure. And since this is a 2025 release of the figure, it's in this baggie because apparently the 2026 figures, just in general for Transformers, are in a clear plastic baggie, so it's easier to get out. Actually, let's just cut this out. Alright, so let's see. There we go. Alright. Come on. Come on. There we go. So it says 2 blasters and I guess a fin accessory. Okay, so it's a little bit different. So look at the instructions from to get him out, because unless he only came with 1. No. Okay, so it's slightly different to Air Raid, but I think it's still built off of the same mold. So let's play the counting game. 1, 2, D4. Alright, let's see how we get you out. Oh, there's another one back here. Okay. 5. Then let's see. We just do that, and he just falls right out. And let me clean up real quick. Alright, so cleaned up, so let's get the figure ready. So, like with Air Raid, you gotta pull out his legs because they are pre-transformed, and just flip out the feet. Then, you know, make him look beautiful. His arms are pegged into his chest. So we just pop those out. And then we can give him his blasters. So we can either have him hold them or they can be stuck onto here. So we're going to put them right in his wing slots for now, which they are supposed to go there for alt mode. Yeah, we just do that. And then, so with Air Raid, there'll be 2 slots right here, but Skydive only comes with 1. So which way is the fin supposed to go on, though? I gotta make sure I put it on the right way. So when you want to put it on, you want to make sure it's on like this. Because, you know, it helps. And then when you go into jet mode, you just flip it around. Honestly, it looks very nice, but I'll get into that when we're in this jet mode. So we have Skydive, who is our 5th member of Team Superion. He was released, like the Superion team was released alongside Devastator. Like Superion was part of Age of the Promise of 2025, while Devastator was part of Studio Series Transformers the movie, also in 2025. So being a casual collector like myself, you kind of had to pick which money was going to go for because it's an investment. So I think that's why they're just sticking to 1 combiner per team now. Like, no, like 1 combiner per year because they realize how much of an expensive toll it was. Trying to release both in each line, like both in the main line and in the mainline Studio Series, it was expensive. So I think in the future now they're just going to stick to 1 per year. Which, being the case this year, is Bruticus, which I am trying to complete. And supposedly by the leaks, there's a solid chance it's going to be Defensor for 2027. I'm not really sold on the design, so depending on how the first figures look, I might only get like 1 or 2 members of the team and they just look that spot on, but I might just ultimately pass on the combiner, to be honest. course, if I get 1 or 2, it's going to incentivize me to get the rest. But I don't know, it's just that Team for Defense doesn't look that great, so I think that's going to be a combine I'm going to pass on. But if I wasn't to Transformers during when Menasor was being released, I would have invested in Menasor as well, but I missed out. I know he's getting a G2 box set soon, but I'm probably going to pass on that because it's a lot of money for one big purchase. But anyways, going over our boy Skydive now, after yapping about the combiner situations. He's kind of like I said, Skydive is retooled off of Air Raid, and then Fireflight's retooled off of Slingshot. So if you own either the arms or either the Lexus Superion, they're basically the same, also just a different paint deco, or maybe a little bit of a difference with the actual figure, but it was primarily the same. Like with Air Raid, like I mentioned, he comes with 2 back fins, while Skydive only comes with the 1. I'm sure they're based off like Pacific Planes, and he does not agree with my camera focused. Like, is that in focus or no? There we go. Yeah. But, you know, still looks pretty nice. I like how the chest kind of matches with Silverbolt's chest. Actually, I guess all of them kind of match with Silverbolt's chest now that I look at it. But yeah, pretty cool. Arms like to go in. But yeah, I really do like the aerial bots, but you know, I prefer Devastator over I prefer the Constructicons over the aerial bots, so that's why I decided to go with Devastator. If I preferred Superion, then I would have gone with Superion. But, you know, last time we got these combined teams 10 years ago, so I'm going with the one I prefer more of. I had to miss out, but luckily it didn't, so yeah. And if it's like with last year where I got 2 combiners because I finally finished up core class Volcanicus along with Devastator, and if I'm able to get the last 2 members of Bruticus this year, then we find out this year and last year I completed 2 combined teams. It's not something I try and do on purpose where I'm trying to go for 2 combined teams a year. It's just funny that it's going to happen that way. If I manage to get the rest of Bruticus, which Bruticus was the priority combiner. Superion was just kind of a... If I get Silverbolt, then I'll go for the rest, because the rest of the team members are Deluxes. Kind of thing. But yeah, pretty cool. But go and figure. It's kind of gray. It's not really like white like Slingshot or Air Raid or Fireflight. Well, granted, Fireflight's more red than white. But here's the back profile. You know, not too much clutter. Like, the only real backpack he has is the cone or this, but you can take that off if you don't want it. And I think they I think when Stockfellows they say like, oh, you can use it as like a blade if you want. Man, it's still pretty cool. Alright, well, let's go over those articulation points. So, our boy Skydive. Apologies if it keeps going in and out of focus. My camera just does not like the aerial bot colors. Because notice I have my other aerial bots, my camera struggles with their colors. Well, at least with Air Raid and Silverbolt was iffy, but Air Raid, it kind of struggled. I don't know with Firefly since it was last year when I filmed his unboxing. So I don't know if the camera struggled with his colors or not. But yeah. Oh, wait, but before we do actually get into articulation, one point is, it's a leak right now, so do take it with a grain of salt. Like, the figure could get canned, or it could just release later than expected. But supposedly for next year, we are getting Alpha Bravo, which is probably going to be retooled off of the Vortex mold. But Alpha Bravo was in Combiner Wars, which I don't know if he was supposed to be a replacement, and we just didn't get the figure, or if it's the same kind of case where he came later. But in Combiner Wars, Air Raid kind of took the slot of Slingshot for the Combiner placement. And I guess now he's coming out as an optional thing to be part of the Aerobot team. And to be honest, if Alpha Bravo came out a lot sooner, I would have got him over Slingshot. I just don't like the design of Slingshot. But, you know, it's fine, you know. You got to pick it up for the Combiner. It's always going to be somebody of the team you don't mess with. And for me, Slingshot is one I don't mess with for the Aerobot team. But head, it's on somewhat of a ball joint. Can't do too much. Arms, apologies for the dogs if you can hear. It's not my dog, it's the neighbor's. Arms, they can do a full 360 if you move the airplane wing out of the way, obviously. bicep swivel, bicep bend. Nothing the hands because you have to fold in due to transformation. He has a waist articulation. I believe an ab crunch. I believe, not too sure. Legs, they can kick out that far. They can kick forward that far and remove the plain wing back. They can kick back that far, but yeah, okay, it doesn't matter the plain wings in or out. It can only move that far regardless, so you're fine if you want to keep the wings out. Because I like to display my robots with the wings out, but when it comes to Firefly, I don't know about the tail fins at the bottom. But yeah. We're going to be going over those size comparisons, but before I get into size comparisons, A, fix up your blaster. But B, before I do get into size comparisons, folks do want to know my thoughts opinions on the size comparisons featured in this video. I'll have a link to that video in the description down below and that card up in book, because folks are curious about them. So, up first we have from Transformers Age of the Primes, Deluxe Class G1 Universe, A-Raid, who shares the same mold, like I said. Like, there's all, like, little differences, obviously paint scheme being one of them, but, you know, like, they are the same mold, basically, at the end of the day. Oh, man, that means you got an annoying piece I can't get out, because on Air Raid, he has a landing gear, but I can't get it out of his chest, so if I did, it was only during the video. I really hope yours is easy to get out. But I do think that, yeah, his nose cone's a little bit bigger than Air Raid, so that's something to keep of note. Then up next we have also from Transformers Age of the Primes, G1 Universe Deluxe Class Fireflight, who's my favorite of the team. Oh, it's just his cosplay pop. And actually he didn't combine it was, he was called Firefly instead of Fireflight. Unless he's actually called Firefly and I've just been calling him by his Combiner Wars names this whole time, which, so I apologize. And I'll keep calling him by that name throughout this video. And then lastly, we have from Transformers Age of the Primes, G1 Universe Commander Class Silverbolt. Yeah, Combiner, like Voyagers have to combine, not Voyagers, Commander Class figures have to combine. They're usually about Voyager class scale, but for the Constructicons, and they scale better. I think they made the Voyagers like small or the Deluxe is tall. It's one or the other. Yeah. Alright, well, let's get Skydive prep for jet mode. Alright, so luckily I don't have to look at the instructions because, like I said, Skydive shares the same mode with Air Raid, and I just transformed Air Raid into his alt mode, so I'm gonna wing it. If not, I got the instructions, but I need to look if I really need them. So it might be out of sorts, but still the general same idea, so apologies in advance if it's not like one-to-one with the instructions, but yeah. So step 1, you want to peg his legs together. Then, wow, okay, I'm not going to say steps because I'm doing this out of order because I know how to transform it, so just follow along. Fold up his hands, like fold them in. Yeah, you want to make sure his arms are straight, and you see these bits right here, they're going to tap into that hole in his arm like he was, as if he was packaged. You would want to fold these out because you're supposed to have them back in robot mode, but for the Air Raid mode, I like them folded out. What you want to do is then you want to fold in his feet. Then you see these holes on his feet? They're going to go into those slots right there on his legs. And then with this bit, you want to fold it around. And then you want to start to bring up his legs on this hinge, which he's new, so it might not work. Well, not work, just be a bit tighter. Then what you want to do with this bit is unclip it and bring it over, and it's going to peg into the holes right here. So this is going to go into there. Like so. You can rotate the head if you want. I don't know if they say you're supposed to or not in the instructions, but yeah. Here's a landing gear, but it's impossible to get out. Same thing with down here, so that's bummers. But what you want to do is just slide this over. Sometimes it takes a bit of going back and forth to get it into place. Don't force it if you don't want to, because it's better you keep your figure nice and tight than it is to break it. And there we go. Oh, and then flip these around so they're facing forward. And there's Skydive in his jet mode. Well, that stinks. Maybe I can get a landing gear. But yeah, I'm going over the jet. Here's the undercarriage. Very glossy. I think you are supposed to rotate the head, but I don't really care. Here the I will admit he's very design colorful. Like he has like nice decals on his stuff. I will admit. Nice jet mode. We like that cockpit design. And yeah, fortunately, I don't think he's blast effect compatible. If you want to give him like a blast off kind of thing, and no, not the transformer. Actually, I wonder what came first, Sky Lynx or Sky Dive, because they both have Sky in their name. I think these guys came before Transformers movie. I know Sky Lynx definitely came after it, unless I'm being stupid and feel free to correct me. But yeah, still a cool jet. And I'm just wearing slingshot, then I can film my Superion video. Which to save space, because the table where I keep my Transformers are basically full, so that's why I decided to order these guys before ordering animated Ratchet, along with another Transformer. Because I do want to get that animated Ratchet, it looks good, and I'm thinking about getting it with animated Prowl, just because, you know, might as well for when Bulkhead inevitably gets released. I don't think he was on the leaked listing for 2027 for a figure, or according to the leaks, it's like the first half, so maybe Bulkhead will show up in the second half. But if we get Bulkhead for animated, it has to be Leader or Big Voyager, because he was taller than Optimus, so he has to be taller than Optimus. And to be honest, if the leaks are true and we are getting animated Lugna, which I do want to get, they're probably just going to retool Bulkhead off of that. Although it'd be weird making a jet go into an armored van, so who knows. Unless it'd be like an extensive retool, like basically 9% of the figure changed, but just like the core body's still the same. But yeah, it's still a pretty cool jet. Just sucks I can't get the landing gears out. Just fixing up the thing. Alright, well, let's go with those size comparisons. At first we have from Transformers Aged Primes. I'm so used to the Legacy name because it rolls off the tongue down. Sometimes I'm about to say like Legacy United or Legacy Evolution. But we got from Transformers Aged Primes, G1 Universe, Deluxe Class, Air Raid. Yeah, very disappointing. At least I can get the landing gear out easy on Silverbolt and Fireflight. And since Fireflight shares the mold with Slingshot, I should be able to get that one out easy. Well, before I do little this and this. I don't remember an episode when the Decepticons were shocked to see like them having jets, because Autobots were always known for having land vehicles. Then up next we have from Transformers Age of the Primes, G1 Universe, Deluxe Class Fireflight. Oh, that's what fell down. There we go. And then lastly, we have from Transformers Age of the Primes, Commander Class G1 Universe, Silverbolt. Whichever one is actually an easy command to go back and forth from robot to jet. I don't know if all commanders are supposed to be like that. Well, the only commanders I own is the double pack of Hook and Longhorn and Silverbolt. And Super Bowl and Longo is you go back and forth from robot to vehicle mode, robot combiner. It's fine. It's just nightmare to try pegging Longhaul to his back end. I haven't done combiner mode yet for Silverbolt, so I don't know if that's gonna be easy to flip back and forth. And I'm probably not gonna get Nexus because he doesn't really look that great, so I don't expect to see Nexus in the frames for my stuff. Unless he's on sale for like $10 or less, then I'll get him. But otherwise, I ain't planning on getting him. But yeah, that's been my look on Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Skydive. I thank you folks for watching this Transformers unboxing video. Folks, did you enjoy the unboxing video? Give the video a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below. I promise as fast as I can. And subscribe to the bell so you know whenever I drop a new video /show/stream. But until next time, toodles.